Hello, I am the Intuitive Tarot Coach, and today we will clear your chakras using Intuitive Tarot. No, I'm not, and actually this is Cassandra the card reader, and I'm a bit more practical than the Intuitive Tarot Coach. But I did want to talk to you today about some fun tarot journaling exercises you can do using your intuition so that you can connect to the tarot cards and become the astounding tarot reader that you want to be. So here's what you do. You pick a tarot card. You can pick one at random. If you're new, I recommend going through the entire deck and doing this journal exercise so that you get to know the cards on an intuitive and personal level, so that it's coming from the inside rather from the outside. But you know, like I said, whatever, like, or if you have a card that you're particularly curious about, or you're like, I don't really understand that card, or however you want to approach it, that's totally up to you. I am a big fan of making a copy of the card and gluing it inside your journal on your journal page. This is an actual tarot card, but you could very well make a copy, stick it in your journal. And what's nice when you make a copy, if you need to grow or shrink it, you can do that in order to fit on your journal page. I always use kind of bigger journals, so I usually don't have problems fitting the card in. But if you use a smaller one, you might. And basically, what you're going to do is you're just going to daydream and draw in your tarot journal around the particular card that you picked. And there's really no rules. The only caveat or rule that I would want to make is try to stay away from, standard definitions or definitions unless you feel really strongly about it. Otherwise, sky's the limit. You can put quotes in here. You can do whatever you want. So you will find that as you draw, things start to open up and you start to gain insight on the card. So I'm just noticing that there's a lot of yellow in this card, so I'm going to put a lot of yellow on my journal page, just because I think that somehow has something to do with this. This little yellow, this pentacle symbol, and the way I don't know if that's grass or if it's, what do you call that stuff? Okay, that was a word. Oh my gosh, it's this, like the deer hide. I don't know, I can't think of what it's called. It kind of reminds me of like a dream catcher type item. So I'm just gonna quickly draw one. If you want to actually copy the card itself and draw it, you can do that too. If you're artistic. If you don't want to do that, then don't do that. If you're not really artistic. You can go on the internet and you can find other versions of the card that you like or are drawn to, and you can glue them in here. You can do it whatever you want, but right now I'm kind of getting off onto this little, this little dream catcher mandala theme. Gosh, I'm having problems today. I'm getting off on that theme, so I'm going to explore that a little more. So I'm just doing this right here, going, okay, this is looking good to me. So I'm just continuing along here, just drawing whatever comes to mind. I tend to be very verbal, so there will be a lot of writing on my journal pages. You may not be, and that's completely fine. You can just go with whatever comes to mind. If it's colors, if it's shapes, if it's memories, words, phrases, song lyrics, whatever works for you, just put it down on the journal page. I've got 3 different examples for you guys, so keep watching because I got 3 different pages and they're all a little bit different. So, you know how you can read about something or someone, but it's not really real or doesn't really mean anything until you experience it in real life? Like you can read about Winston Churchill, but you don't really know what he was like as a man because you didn't sit down and talk with him. This is how you sit down and talk with the cards. This is how you develop a relationship with the cards. And then that way you know them from a very intimate space instead of just reading about them and reading what other people have to say about them. So that's what I want you to know here. So where I was going with this one is the reflections in the pool of water. So I started out with like a little mind map here, and then it made me think about animals that live in the super deep sea. So that's one of those deep sea fish that has the little light, and they swim around under there, and they're really weird, bizarre looking creatures. And it made me think of squids, which I'm gonna draw the squid in a second here. That is supposed to be a squid. I really can't draw unless I see something. So that's kind of like the general, like I know they have pointy heads. So that's supposed to be a squid. And then I write monsters. They're like monsters in the deep. And I talk about those. And then, I don't know, Eyes Wide Shut just kind of came to me. It's like, do you want to see that stuff down in the deep or do you not? You know, that's where I was going with that. And then I started getting off on the Vesica Pisces thing, which you do see on the lid of the well there, except it's facing the other way. It's like horizontal and this is vertical, and I just made millions of them, and then I turned them into like those little guardian eye things that you see from the Middle East. Do not be freaked out if you get something totally bizarre that comes up and it doesn't seem to be related to quote unquote what you know about the cards or what other people say about them. Here I was thinking about marching in lockstep and like military marching, and so I was trying to like show the soldiers marching, but I couldn't draw it right. But that's what I was thinking. Then hashtag winning! Winning! And we have the Olympic torch. I was thinking about that, you know, carrying a torch, leading, following, leadership, all that kind of stuff. And success, you know, as being a successful athlete or whatever. And it just came to me, so what do you believe in anyway? And that's what will happen. These little things will kind of just come to you, and it's like, okay. And then I started thinking about like being anointed or being dubbed here, and so it's like, are you being anointed or are you being clubbed over the head? No, I don't know. Join the free online tarot class, link in the description.